chat. Months and months ago in March, I bought a new server. It took months to get made because of the chip shortage. It arrived last month at the data center. It got plugged in, never got set up because that was when the BO shit was happening, so I didn't have time. And only just this week have we moved the Fediverse and the Matrix server to the new device. And I say we, I mean Crunklord did all the heavy lifting. So kiwifarms.cc is speedy right now. It's operating as it should. There is a matrix.kiwifarms.net, which you can find instructions to use in the internet and technology board of the site. I would love to see some new people using both sites, so if you're interested in a Twitter alternative, a Discord alternative, go ahead and check those out. So yesterday I get an email from someone I recognized the name of but didn't quite know who it was, and it was a suspicious looking subpoena asking for non-specific information about celebrities. So I called the number thinking that it would be the clerk of court for this court that this subpoena was supposedly from. And it's like an old lady that picks up. I'm thinking, who the fuck is this? And she seems confused. She says, hold on a second. She wanders off. And then this other younger female starts talking to me. And I remember that this is Pamela Swain, who is a definitely delusional, schizophrenic, probably. And she starts talking to me about all these people, including Donald Trump Jr. and some guy named Alan Devjadovich or some shit, who's apparently Harvey Weinstein's lawyer. And she sent me a subpoena. And the interesting thing about the subpoena is that it explicitly says issuing a fake subpoena is a criminal offense in the state of Georgia. So she sends me this and specifically says this is a subpoena for evidence, and she's not in discovery. This case doesn't appear to exist. So everything about this is just weird, and it's apparently a crime. And she says it like in the template she copied over to me. I don't know. I sent it to the clerk of court, the real one, and I asked, what the fuck is this? Do I have to do anything? And I'm waiting for a reply from the judge. My call with this person is on the forum, or it's on the channel right now, but it's also uploaded to the podcast feed and the Odysee archive and the website and everything else. Oh, I just got an email from the court. Let me read this real quick. The judge has said that I can throw the subpoena in the trash. Well, that's good. Let me tell you guys about where I went. I had an issue with my visa, as happens all the fucking. I've never had a residential visa anywhere. Everywhere I've been, I've just been a tourist. So I'm still technically living in the United States, even though I haven't lived in the United States since like 2017 or some shit. So every so often, I am compelled by the governments of this world to fuck off. So I pick on short notice a country that I can fuck off to. I picked the Pridnestrovian Moldovina Republika, which some of you may recognize the name of Transnistria. I went there. From what I learned during my time there, it's a very hard situation for them, and I feel really bad. And what I got a sense of was like severe Soviet nostalgia. Basically, in the Soviet Union, everything had a place. They basically had this whole network of supply and demand logistics figured out from the central government. Tiraspol and Pridnestrovia had a place in this network that was very beneficial to it. So the Moldovans didn't like the Russians. They wanted the ethnic Russians gone, and Tiraspol was the economic heart of the Moldovan area. When the split up happened and Moldova started talking all this shit about kicking the Russians out, they're like, wait a second, fuck you. We don't want to be a part of your shitty fucking country, and we're not going to go. We're staying right here. We're going to be independent, and fuck you. And that didn't quite work, in part because they're surrounded by two countries, Moldova and Ukraine, and neither really like Pridnestrovia. They're sort of like a thorn in everybody's side, but also everybody's a thorn in their side. So they're really, really in a bad position, and they're just sort of stuck in time, and they look back on the Soviet Union fondly because that was when they had a place in the world, and they really just got left behind. It makes me feel like there's probably a lot of places like that that have gotten left behind. Detroit, for instance, after World War II, the city of Detroit had more industrial output at the end of World War II than the rest of Europe combined, and now it's a shithole. For various reasons, not the least of which is that China took all the manufacturing jobs from the U.S. So now Detroit's just kind of left behind. I don't think that Pridnestrovia has it as bad as Detroit. Shithole countries crying about being shitholes. Hey now. You'll be sitting there in like, what is it, the Pacific Confederation between Washington and or Greater Idaho, they like to call it. You'll be sitting there in Greater Idaho like, no, we're a real country. And you'll be sandwiched between the U.S. and Canada, just like Pridnestrovia is between Ukraine and Moldova. And you'll be like, no, we're totally a real country, guys. And everyone will just ignore you and make fun of you. And you'll sit there and you'll sing your fake country anthem, wave your fake country flag, and there's nothing you can do about it. Did you know that Reset Era was sold for $4.5 million? No, if someone offered you $4.5 million for Forum, would you sell it? That's a hard question. My position on selling the Forum would be that I need enough money from that one transaction to justify it, because I can't ever work again. So it's like, okay, $4.5 million, is that enough money to tide me and a family over for the rest of my life? 4.5 is like probably the bare minimum. And it might say like, oh, you think the Forum's worth $4.5 million? You're fucking delusional. It's not that I think the Forum is worth $4.5 million. It's more just that if I get rid of this asset that I have, I better be able to not have to worry about money again. I could invest it in anything. I could invest it in Pridnestrovia. Let me read the post from Xyllon. Xyllon says that he had made $700,000 in the last 12 months, which just goes to show you that if I could run ads, I would make a lot of money. Most of the traffic that the forum has is from work. It's like we lose traffic over the weekend. So I really think that almost everybody who uses the forum actually does so at work. In fact, there's probably people listening to this who are at work right now. So it's just like a way that they burn through their fucking wagey hours, is reading about fat people and shit. Xyllon says, hello everyone. The pressure of being the sole owner of a Reset Era has always remained. However, and personal health concerns have made it increasingly difficult to shoulder that on my own. I've wrestled with this decision for a long time now, but I'll be honest with myself, I don't know if I'll be able to do this forever. The right thing to do is to find a responsible buyer for the site. Reset Era has a new owner, which is the MOBA network, which is based in Sweden. The staff will retain total independence when it comes to moderation and day-to-day management of the site. That independence will be held as absolutely sacred. It's very interesting reading like the flip side of the Kiwi farms. Here we have a guy who is like extremely left-leaning, and he has to be minded of things that are completely alien to me. He can't jeopardize the deal by pissing off his community, so he can't just say, fuck y'all, got mine. He has to gently break the news so that there's no issues with the deal going forward. Because really what he's selling there is the people who use the site. So the first thing he tackles here is the pressure is high and I have personal health concerns. That is something that he probably paid someone to come up with, because that is a perfect excuse. The rules of their religion do not allow them to ask what specifically. Like with Jim says on Patreon, I have health issues. Like everyone's like, what do you fucking got? You got fucking cancer? You got fucking AIDS? But for their community, he says health concerns, well, it's none of their fucking business. And anyone who would dare ask what the health concern is violating the tenets of the faith. Picking a company based in Sweden is a good idea because they're in the EU, and the EU is worshipped by the cult. When he pitches this to MOBA Network, he's saying that the staff are basically a part of the deal. He says that I've set this up so that it manages itself. It's passive income. But then I have these Jannies who do all the work for me, and they're not paid, and it's a win-win. MOBA Network doesn't have to worry about hiring staff for this property, and the community has the sense of familiarity right off the bat. Yeah, the owners changed, but what did Xyllon even do? Nothing, apparently. It's all the Jannies, and the Jannies are coming with. And then he also very intelligently says the independence will be held as absolutely sacred in the same way that editorial independence is treated at journalistic publications. That's like an appeal to authority. It's like with newspapers, those things that you trust so much, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I understand what that means. Why did MOBA Network want to buy Reset Era? Because of the users, and there's not a lot of gaming sites out there which suit them, which means safe. It's like the most PC gaming website in the world. And you can, like, there are no gamer words here. There are only like dick girls and racially sensitive people. Like these are the ideal consumer. They police themselves. They hold to the ideology, which is ad safe. Are the staff getting paid? Oh no. Sweating bullets over here. I don't want those kinds of questions. Moderators are still volunteers. Ooh.
Does it all for free.
Ooh, like technical work will get paid, but everybody else, they're doing it for free, and they're gonna be fucking happy to do it. Honestly, reading this whole deal made me realize how inherently selfish most people are. Couldn't some of the money been doled out to mods? No. Frantically Googling how to migrate a forum community. Won't do shit. Seems like a lot of the moderation team were unaware as to how profitable a venture the website was, and therefore saw doing the work pro bono as a necessity. Either way, these people did the work for a community, and they will get a whole $0 out of it. While one guy that barely does anything other than own the website walks away with millions of dollars. $0. It's like with the Twitch thing. Like, how many of those people do you think giving money to people like Hassan are like, wait a second, you said that you needed this for your grandmother's surgery and diabetes medication. Why are you making $700,000 a month, Hassan? And the great thing is, he doesn't have to care. He doesn't have to care. This guy doesn't have to give a fuck. He never has to deal with these fucking retards ever again. He can go to his balcony off his penthouse in New York and scream the N-word to his heart's content, and there's nothing any of them can do. People gotta stop asking Sirium to pay the mods. He already left the building with briefcases full of money. He didn't give a fuck before, and he definitely will not give a fuck about the site now. Fucking based. That is fucking great. You get what you asked for, and those Jannies asked for nothing. So Amberlynn, just very briefly.
Black on black on black on black. Of course you When did I become such a blackie?
She about to get fucking mugged. TikTok is gay, I agree. I closed down the Amberlynn board. I've made the determination that it sucks. Over time, like, she used to do more. She was pretty active for a while. There would be months where she did not put out any kind of content. She put out fucking nothing. It was just the most boring shit ever. Amberlynn continues to put up new walls to protect herself from the innate humiliation that comes with being a fat, useless retard. I don't know. I guess Amberlynn just has like so many more. She has like a lot more hate watchers than Chantal does. And she really just wants to save face. So she saves face in like the most boring way possible. DSP is easier to hate watch in comparison. Almost. You know, I try to say like don't get mad at like locales, but I genuinely think that bad things need to happen to Amberlynn. She never eats any humble pie. She just sits there and looks smug as fuck. Something needs to happen to her that makes her realize that she is a fat, useless retard. And I hope that day comes soon. Spectre. I didn't even write a note about Spectre. There's a legal thread about two guys I don't know anything about. Spectre makes a post in the thread saying like, I've been writing him legal drafts and sending, and I'll even pull this up. Give me a second. He's like a desk guy from the military. He says that he knew General Mattis, and apparently he doesn't like me now because I made fun of him. Preston Poulter et al. Versus Ali Dean Asaf, and he deleted this post. Dean asked me to help him, and I agreed to do so. It's legal as long as I don't claim to be a lawyer or able to represent him in any capacity in the lawsuit. I drafted some of it, proofread it, and gave it to Dean to do as he saw fit. That's really sketchy. He deleted this post because I guess he realized that it's a fucking bad idea to tell people this. The law says, in Massachusetts, and again I'm not a lawyer, but it says, no individual other than a lawyer shall practice law or otherwise hold himself out as authorized, entitled, competent, qualified, or able to practice law. I mean, he deleted it himself, so I assume that he regretted providing this information to people for whatever reason, because if it is a crime, he is definitely saying that he's admitting to guilt effectively. What pisses me off about him, and I've said this before, but what really pisses me off about Spectre is that he continuously talks in first person plural way. He says we. Like, motherfucker, you are one person and you in no way, shape, or form represent this community. And I've told him, stop saying we. You are not a representative of this site in any way, and he continuously does it. Nobody else does this. This isn't like a common thing I have to swat down. Like people saying touching the poop. Stop saying that. That's fucking gross. But that's like a broader community issue where people who have low IQ keep saying gross shit like that. Touching the poop is a thing that people say when they have an IQ somewhere between 70 and 80. And they want to express the idea that you should not fuck with lolcows off the site. And instead of using a normal expression like don't fuck with people, or look, don't touch, or something like that, no trolling plans, they say don't touch the poop. That is a gross mental image. That is fucking juvenile. That is stupid. And they keep doing it. And I've word filtered it from touching the poop to pause load my neck hole. And they keep fucking doing it. It's like that gif where the guy says, I'm retarded, and he looks into the mirror and he's got Down syndrome. That's you. Literally go look in the mirror. You've got Down syndrome. You just don't know it yet. Let's change it to Sneed. Don't Sneed. Stop sneeding. That's funny. So Kingle wrote a letter to Chris, and Chris replied, Hey Kenneth, this is the body of your and my soul partner, Jesus. Oh my God, he's literally calling himself Jesus now. I feel dirty reading this. I'm gonna pronounce it Jesus because I don't want to offend anyone. Your and my soul partner, Jesús Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, speaking to you on her blessed behalf. She shall return for me for the apex of our second coming. Technically it would be a third coming, right? The Third Reich. We are the real player one and the one avatar, I, the body, and the one God, than Jesus Christ of Nazareth himself, together again as your fully real awakened Lord, Messiah, Savior God, and Judge over the minority who are the toxic, darkest sinners, haters, fakers, and darkest demonics who shall be left behind on 1218 Earth to burn. The future of all Sonichus and Rosachus, and still continued immortal care and guard watch from I and our husband Magichan Sonichu Prime of Universe 1C211987 and C197 before the recombination shall remain the same for the future of all Pokemon. Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, Ratchet and Clank, Neptune, Blank, Nor, Vert, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin, Eric Cartman, Tsukino Usagi, Goku, Inuyasha and Kagome, Papa Smurf, Harari Suzumiya, Gumball Watterson, S&T, Lightning Bliss, Dr. Wolf, Princess Star Butterfly, and Marco Diaz, Optimus Prime, Autobot, Sanchu, and Chris-chan, Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne / Batman, in case you didn't know, Diana / Wonder Woman, President Lisa Simpson, Sunset Shimmer, Princess Twilight Sparkle, Raven, Janae Wakerman / XJ9. Oh, okay, the robot girl from Nickelodeon. Danny Phantom, Fox MacLeod, the Jedi, Captain Kirk, and so on, into all present day existent original and quote-unquote fictional characters, including the majority of all of UOCs of 1218 Earth, here, and myself and Christine, we are all continue on in greatest partially immortal stead, mutually chronicling and alive, safe and well forevermore. I am the God body. Christine is literally God herself, and we are both Jesus Christ reincarnated. I have a temporary soul partner, a holy flame type you may remember, on her repentance tour, keeping me safe, well, not abused, and good, alongside many good angels, spirits, and OP allies. So his allies are OP, I guess. In and around this jail of fail. Oh my God, that is a proper quickism. We presently have a genuine Turkish prayer rug. So they gave him a Muslim prayer rug. I hope he's pointing it to Mecca correctly so that his prayers can be heard. And a deck of playing cards from the commissary, along with very much appreciated sports bra. They gave him a bra. And at present, we are asking all peoples to send money to the Sonichu Temple at 14 Branchland Court in Reckersville, Virginia, to pay off the mortgage and remaining debts. Prayers 2 and 4, Christine and I, are appreciated and shall be answered. All prayers to Jesus have been going to Christine for nearly 40 years now, and absolutely nothing is to be taken from within the temple or its property yard or defaced. All those who do this shall be struck down by my allies, the gods and heaven's armies. And lastly, but importantly, contact the local Virginia governor of Ruckersville and Charlottesville, Virginia, as well as the President Biden, and get me Christine's body, as well as Christine herself, a full pardon, in all caps, to get me out of this jail and mess, please. Can you imagine if Biden did that? That would be great if it was like if this happened like right around the time of the insurrection, and then like Trump's in office is that his last week, and instead of pardoning any of those people on Capitol Hill, he just pardons Chris, who's sitting in jail for incest, and that's it. He gets out. What had happened was literally a divine mission, oh my God, commissioned to Christine and I by Emmanuel God, above gods, herself, to heal and cleanse Barbara's health and soul and clear her of remaining sins and regrets through cuddling, talking, and supportive soul bonding. That's like a Collier thing. Hey baby, have sex with me. I'll cleanse your soul with my penis. All of you were being and are now being divinely tested with the divinely purposed leak of this information. Too many of you have epically failed by responding and giving into the drama instead of ignoring this with greater considerations of the context and knowing better of Christine. Just ignore that I have sex with my mother. Consider this your interview, Kenneth. Go ahead, please, and share all of this in confirmation with that handwritten original pages were already posted as well. Thanks. Sincerely, God body of Mrs. Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, the Goddess Blue Heart, and Lord Messiah of, and Savior of all. Postscript, have you ever sat on a prayer rug with a deck of playing cards playing solitaire? It is a genuinely humbling experience. I highly recommend it. All you had to do was draw and not fuck your mother. It's now time for the Ralph Report. This picture is so fucking funny. This is perfect. I need to find some way to immortalize this. I might sell this as a postcard. He's so happy to be wearing that fucking hat. He's like genuine, like his soul has lifted up just a little bit because he wears that hat and he thinks this is an epic own of Josh Moon. He's been boring this week because he's just betting on sports, literally watching ESPN footage. He plays 20 minutes like without commentary. Just some black man being like, shit, man, I didn't want to get no vaccine, man. And I tell him I don't want to get no vaccine. He said, well, you can't play no more unless you get no vaccine. And then he's like, I just want to make medical decision about my body and shit. I don't want to take no fucking vaccine. I'm perfectly healthy. I don't want to take no vaccine. Then they're just like, well, you got to take a vaccine if you want to play. And I'm like, I don't want to play no fucking game if I got to take no fucking vaccine. Fuck y'all. But then he has this guy, I don't know who the fuck Jay Dyer is. He's some other asshole on like that sphere, that sector, where he talks about racism and how base the N-word is. And I agree it's base, but Jay Dyer or whatever the fuck makes the crucial danger mistake of accidentally making a joke at Ralph's expense.
Is that really a problem for you, Ralph, though? I mean, are you really, are the women really all over you, or?
I mean, I got 2 kids, about to have 2 kids. I mean, you have...
I'm just making jokes, man. It's just jokes.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not funny, though. That's not like anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got a problem, or do you have anything you want to say, or like?
What do you mean?
I think I was pretty clear.
Do I have a problem? No.
Okay.
I thought you liked to joke around. I thought I was just making jokes.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not that funny, though. Seems like a personal problem at this point.
I'm sorry. I didn't intend it to be. Are you fucking with me? I can't tell.
Yeah, I am. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
The other thing that happened with Ralph is that secure server apparently has been compromised again, and that resulted in the Killstream.tv site being defaced with just a picture of the original Gunt picture. Absolutely love these shoes. They are my new favorite pair. I love how sparkly and sexy they are. They are super comfortable and easy to walk in. Highly recommend purchasing them. So you might think that this is some sort of like humiliation porn that I got off some horrific subreddit. But this is actually an image that I have downloaded off of Amazon. If you go to Amazon and you look up any kind of apparel and you read the reviews, you will find pictures just like this of innocuous shit like shoes in full fetish gear imposing themselves on women just trying to find a pair of heels to buy. This is perfectly normal behavior. If you ever have a daughter as you grow up, just know that by the time she's like 12, this is what she will be exposed to. Anyways, Peetz.
Mussolini. Will I become the girlfriend?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the world of transgenderdom, we call this the egg cracking moment. His egg has cracked, and he is now ready to transition to a beautiful butterfly, a beautiful pizza fly.
If only you knew how bad things really are.
This is called What I Look For in a Woman.
First off, breathing. And even that's negotiable. I want to be able to cuddle, cuddle and smooch. So, needs to be someone that I can actually meet with in person. I am, unfortunately, somewhat shallow. I do want to be at least a little bit physically attracted to the woman. There's nothing really specific in terms of the looks. I do like a girl with huge tracts of land. I'm kidding. No kids, no dogs. Any woman I date does have to like cats.
That rolls out all the white women.
An indoor person. There's a lot of outdoor people. Ooh, they like to camp, they like to play sports, they like to go for hikes and biking, and I don't like doing any of that stuff. I like just sitting inside with air conditioning on.
He just says, I like to be inside. I like to vegetate in my chair. I don't have any interest. Next topic, please. Thank you.
They do have to like Studio Ghibli. All I really want is somebody I can cuddle up with and watch Ghibli movies.
Don't even fucking email me if you don't like Studio Ghibli. You motherfuckers, you're not good enough for me, bitch. Don't fucking bother. All he's thinking about is lesbian scissoring. You see that big bald spot right above his eyes? Lesbian scissoring.
No conservatives. No TERFs, obviously. Trans women are women, trans men are men. If you don't agree with that, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't think there's really anything about trans women that would turn me off, really.
Nothing, Peetz. Not a very specific thing about a trans woman that might turn you off. I wonder if he actually is ready to suck the girl dick, or if he just, says that because he has to. Mahatma Gaddafi says, which man wouldn't fuck Blair White? Mahatma Gaddafi, whoever you are behind that screen name, I hate to be the one to break this to you in front of 2,000 people, but you are a homosexual. You want to have sex with men. You are coping and sneezing right now that you are actually straight, but in fact, sir, you are you are gay, and you'll find out very soon. Please don't get a woman pregnant before you figure out that you're gay.
I do want a woman who's reasonably competent, and someone who doesn't really rely on other people for validation.
So what he's saying is, I want someone who is confident enough to improve my life, and I don't have to compliment her or bring her up in any way. I need someone who can basically make me happy and be completely self-reliant and not really need me in any way, shape, or form. Peetz wants his mom, please. She's in a home. She's in a senior care home because she's infirm. She's that old now. Please, let's not wish this into existence. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I look for.
Why is Endgame rated one of the best films of all time? It's because of Peetz. There's millions of people like this man out there watching movies and buying comic books and rating and posting on Twitter. We all know, just true now. If Peetz trunes out, he can become transbians with someone. like Jonathan Yanov. They can be transmians. People from Poland went to Southwest Airlines and posted a bunch of racist shit that I can't read. Like, it's a poll raid. You fill in the gaps. Due to an ongoing attack by white nationalists and far-right organizations, we have terminated the user forums as a precautionary measure. I nutted on my George Floyd toy and accidentally created a George Floyd homunculus. No darkies on my flight. Go back to Reddit now. You're overloading the site. I love Lum. Joe Biden's entire cabinet is Jewish. Race mixing is funded and led by Jews. And with Vietnamese characters. Southwest Airlines has no heart for trans women with prosthetic vaginas. I like how plural in a word is not censored, but vagina is. Is Israel responsible for this? Poop juice. 1488 domestic flights canceled. Middle seat is an ugly transsexual Jew and deserves to be gassed, even though the Holocaust is a lie, by Tom Hunky. Proof that Biden is a great man who loves children. Do gay people have souls? In-flight dilation station. Can I reserve milk truck girl, sir? Live free or fucking die. But that's funny how fuck is bleeped out, but not the N-word when it's plural. Restriction on slaves for carry-on. If Sneed sells feed and seed. Come slut thread, no Kamala Harris pics. Win an action-packed trip to Detroit. Are Canadians allowed on your airline yet? Sucks that they're all gonna go to a CIA internment camp run by black people. The George Floyd homunculus thing is like a old meme. I nutted on my George Floyd toy and accidentally created a George Floyd homunculus. As an average teenager, each night I do the same routine. Eat, dinner, study, chill, and then finally bust a nut before I go to sleep. Tonight in particular, I grew tired of the Japanese sex doll. I wanted something that can create an ultra-realistic sexual experience that can cause me to bust the most satisfying high-volume nut in history. I browsed TikTok sellers for some ideas. I came across a particularly interesting item, the George Floyd toy. My mom came into the room with the package. That is my new George Floyd plush. I bought it to honor his death and to support the cause. She bought into it and handed me the toy. Holy shit, I immediately got the urge to rub its face all over my... After 10 seconds, I busted the biggest nut yet. It shot out white liquid at a distance of 2 meters. George Floyd toy's face was painted all white. Man, that was the best feeling ever. I went into the washroom to clean the toy. I valued it so much, I stored it in my closet and went to bed. When I woke up, I couldn't wait to bust a bonus nut before I go to school. But when I opened my closet, my George Floyd toy didn't look like itself at all. Its outer fabric appeared to have a large hole. I chalked it as my semen being acidic and went in with my day. Once I returned to school, I saw my mom. She was dead. I couldn't believe my eyes, so I went over to investigate. There I saw a bullet hole through her pregnant belly. I cried a lot because I lost my mom and my future brother. I searched around the house for the robber. I couldn't find any weapon to use to defend myself against the gunman, so I decided to use a book that I could use for blocking bullets. At first, I did not see anything in the second-story hallway, but I heard a small voice and I looked down. There I saw it, a very miniature person. When I looked closely, I saw it as a miniature George Floyd. The George Floyd mini-me had tentacles for arms and only one eye. I freaked out so much from that organism that I used my book to crush it. Lift up the book, please. I can't breathe, it said. I just kept the book on it until I stopped hearing it breathe. I did some research on how this George Floyd homunculus existed. There were a ton of rumors spreading through the internet that George Floyd toy contained an egg, which was extracted from George Floyd's corpse. Always be careful with what you decide to bust a nut in. I hope I hope that's been satisfying to Annan, who's been spamming my fucking chat. Shadman? What happened to Shadman? Is he fucking dead? I'll do a whole stream on Shadman if he's dead. He might be ODing, no one knows. Okay. I'll do a bonus stream if Shadman fucking dies. He takes black tar heroin. Well, it couldn't happen to a nicer person. I wanted bad things to happen to him for a while. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Janny get me banned, and he ain't got no friends. Pull up in the van, he pull up in his van, pop up in a thread, and make a fun post. They all call me base, Janny a disgrace. My pockets in his face, I put him in his place. You know he just a neat, he does it all for free. Capo kill the beat.